Break. Nice.
Yeah.
So sibling rivalry, or sibling relationships, one of the earliest and most long-lasting you will form and ever have. But how can we navigate the disagreements that come along with having sisters and brothers or our own children? We're going to get some pointers from goodhousekeeping.com, and family psychologist Dr. Sharifa Wilkins-Cahoon is also going to talk us through. Morning to you, Doc. How are you
Morning,
doing?
Doc.
Hi, good morning. I'm well. How are you guys?
Very well,
Very
thank
good,
you.
thank you.
Should we say it's a given that sibling rivalry will exist?
Definitely.
It is?
It's part of,
Okay.
I think it's part of growing up.
Yes, and when we say rivalry, what do we really mean?
So competition, jealousy, if there's two or more, just going through the differences in personality, just trying to find out who I am as a person. And then that may clash because of the differences in the children's perspective and also their personalities. So that's definitely part of it. Conflicts, as we know, is a part of life. It's inevitable. And so siblings, even little children, are going to have conflicts, even as young as maybe 2, 3 years old. They may have a toy and may want the toy, and that may cause some conflict, some rivalry. Also, it depends on how children are disciplined. If the parent discipline one child too harshly, that can also cause, a rivalry, because children will see that and they may rebel and say, but yet mommy, you hit me the other day and you took this away. But then when John had it, you didn't do anything. So those are part of what we navigate or called sibling
Sibling
rivalry.
rivalry. Donna Hausman, founder and CEO of the Hausman Institute, says 3 things are typically at the root of most sibling rivalry. Kids feeling they're getting unequal amounts of attention, degrees of responsiveness, and severity of discipline.
Yes.
How important is it for a parent to understand these 3 things?
It's very important because children are very intuitive and they're sensitive, and they will read into things even more than we think they do.
Yeah.
Sometimes they form their own perspective, even when it's not accurate. So it's very important that we understand that children are unique and help to create that sense of individuality. Even though it may be 2 or 3 of them, give them their own time, their own undivided attention. As I said before, depends on how you discipline, that can cause some resentment and or not. So it's very important that we understand what we're doing as parents and how we're impacting our children.
And
Not just their childhood, but their adulthood as well. Because what
Right.
happens in childhood also replicates what happens in adulthood.
Yeah.
So how do you equip a parent with the tools to recognize sibling rivalry and to deal with it? Because sometimes it's an inherent bias. You may be not even aware. So how do you self-check to know that you are not the cause of it?
Yeah, so I think one of the things you want to do is to, as I said earlier, understand child is different, understand their perspective, and foster a secure attachment where the child feels safe and can come to you. Also foster empathy, understanding what they're feeling. Put yourself in their shoes sometimes and also validate their feelings. And I think it's important to carve out one-on-one time for each child. So if you have 3 of them, take them on an outing, each child, don't always group them together. Let them have that one-on-one time with you. And I think it's important for parents to understand how children feel love and how they receive love, their love language. So I understand your child's love language. For example, I have a 4-year-old and I know that his love language is quality time. And when I'm with him, he wants me to give him undivided attention of my time, and my husband ensure that because he feels loved that way. We also, of course, set balance, but we don't have another one, but if we had another one, I would also have to understand that other child's love language and speak that love language. So it's very important to do that and understand the differences in personality. Also helps to determine how we will manage conflict. For example, personality, a person who's very tend to tend to talk a lot, type B may avoid and shut down. So you have to understand how that person deals with conflict, even as a child. Also, I think it's important just to set the tone for what you expect in your family. We're a family and we're going to get along. We're going to love each other. We're going to be nice. We're not going to call names and so forth. And I think as parents, we have to be mindful that we don't put our children down and we don't compromise and compare them rather. So we have to be mindful that we don't compare our children and label and put them down. Oh, you're the lazy one or you're the smart one. We want to avoid those kind of things and set the tone. And also, if in case a conflict occur, there are steps that you can take to help resolve the conflict.
Tell us some of those steps, Doc. You said one already, which was set the tone.
Yes. So set the tone, as I said earlier, encourage them and let them know what we expect in this family. Allow for calm. If the children are upset, send them to individual space. Tom, go upstairs and go into your room. Kayla, come downstairs and come stay with me and calm down. Take a deep breath. Because children have to learn to self-regulate. It's important that children learn to self-regulate, to soothe themselves and calm down. Take a deep breath. Go play on your tablet for a little bit. And then you come and check in. How are you doing now? Is there anything that mommy needs to know? And then you bring the children together and allow them to share. So you want to listen to them and give equal time and equal turn. Don't listen to one and then shut down the other one. Because of course, children knows when you're not being fair. They're very smart, they're very intuitive. So you listen to each child and allow them to share. And then you can also come up with a consequence. You can even ask them, so okay, what do you think we should do as a consequence for your misbehavior? Do you think we should take away your toy for a week? Or, time out in your room? And then you can also empathize with them and let them know that this is not easy, but together as a family, we are learning to problem solve, to resolve conflicts.
Right.
Yes.
And praise them, praise them for their effort to wanting to resolve conflict, wanting to get along with their sibling, their brother, their sister, wanting to share.
Yes.
So it's important as well that children learn social skills such as sharing, compromising, identifying feelings, talking about your feelings and so forth.
All right, Doc, thank you so much. It's so important because I tell you, when they learn to resolve it as siblings, it's easier for them to resolve it as co-workers and in other relationships. So it starts in the home. And I want to thank you so much for speaking with us this morning. Family psychologist, Dr. Sharifa Wilkins-Colquhoun, on navigating sibling rivalry. After the break, we're going to learn about lions on World Lion Day. Yeah?